Hey guys, so welcome back to Amazon Labs. In today's session, I'm going to show you the real results of one of the brands that we launched in the recent period. In this session, I'm going to speak about all the key metrics that you need to monitor and track, especially when you're launching your products for the first time on Amazon. Right? So typically, let us set this expectation very clear. Now, when you're launching, your goal is not to profit, your goal is to gain the momentum. Initial few days, right? So you should definitely not look into your profitability. Now, when you first launch, your goal is to get those initial few sales. When you have a consistent flow in sales, that is how you can organically index your products on your important keywords, isn't it? Right. Now, when we do our launches, right, so there are a few important metrics that we track on a daily basis, and we also review these metrics on a weekly basis, and then we see retrospectively how we have done in the preceding week. Accordingly, we define an action plan and then implement the action plan and then work on the subsequent or the current week, right? So what are the parameters that we would track? The first and foremost thing, we want to have complete visibility over how much are we spending every single week, right? Now, if you see, look into this data here for week one, we spent about $1,065 in terms of advertisements. Now, by spending about $1,065, we were able to buy 296 clicks, right? Now, we also track how many sessions are we able to attract by spending $1,065. Now, you need to understand that there is a difference between clicks and sessions. Now, sessions are unique visits in a 24-hour time frame. Now, this number is a combination of both your PPC and your organic sessions or visits. So it is very normal that your sessions will always be the number of clicks, right? And then the next important thing, we also want to understand, fine, we spent about $1,065 in week one and we were able to get 428 sessions, and we also want to understand, okay, how many impressions did we receive, right? Now, by using your impressions or page views and sessions, we try to understand what is our CTR, which is nothing but your click-through rate. Now, our CTR will tell whether my product is attractive or not, in terms of, is my main image healthy, is my price healthy, are my reviews healthy, right? Is my title right? These are the four parameters that determine or that influence a customer to click your product listing. So we really get to see what is our CTR percentage. Now, in this case, we see the CTR is good, which means that all these four parameters are taken care of. And the most important aspect when it comes to selling on Amazon is your conversion ratio, right? No matter which PPC strategy you're following, ultimately everything boils down to conversion, right? Now, if your conversion ratio is good, naturally Amazon will try to rank up your product. If your conversion ratio is bad, there is no doubt that you will also lose your organic rank positions, right? So it's very important for you to understand how are you converting, right? Now, that is also one important metric. And then we also see what is our cost per session, and we also see what is our cost per acquisition, as in how much are we spending in terms of dollar amount in order to acquire one customer, right? And we also track how many orders are we receiving every single day. Now, when I say orders, here I'm referring to only a combination of both PPC and organic orders. And then likewise, I also want to track what is our return rate, right? Because it is also a very important metric. Let's say you've got a product which has got a profit margin of 30%. Now, assuming these days, PPC, your tacos could be ranging between 10 to 15%. Now you're left with a net of 10 to 15% or 20% of margin. Now, at this instant, let's say if you have got a return ratio of 7% or 10%, right, it is definitely not viable for you to operate a business, right? It's very important for you to understand how many returns are you getting, and you also need to go to your voice of customer section and understand if you're getting any complaints. In case if that is so, you need to work towards improving it, right? And the next core and key most metric that I want to track is what percentage of my sales are coming from PPC and what percentage of my sales are coming from organic. Now, see guys, now when you launch, initial few sales, you're getting sales, which is good, but you need to track this metric very carefully. If you are consistently getting sales, then your proportion of PPC sales should go down and the proportion of organic sales should go up. Now, here I'm speaking about uh, a launch which is done very organic way using Amazon PPC platform. I'm not speaking about uh, tactics like identifying keywords and then giving away a couple of units upfront to gain initial momentum. I'm not speaking about all those tactics here. uh, Now, typically when you do your launches only through Amazon, in this case we launched it only using Amazon platform, no other external traffic, nothing like that. We were able to improve the ratios very quickly, right? You can see that initially when we began, 72% of our sales have come from PPC and 28% of our sales were from organic. But eventually over a period of time, you see only 46% of our sales are coming from PPC, about 54% of our sales are coming organically. And then the next important metric that we do track is our tacos, which determines whether our product is really profitable or not. Right now, what is our launch strategy? Now we keep it very simple. Now we do a thorough and a proper keyword research, and then we make a list of highly relevant keywords, and then we target only 10 or 15 keywords. Right at this stage when we launch, what we typically do is on these 10 or 15 keywords, we run suggested bids, and then we also apply top of search 50%, because that is how top of search is what drives your organic sales. And then we leave these campaigns for 7 days, and for 7 days we don't touch these campaigns at all. Right and then what we normally do is, what we normally observe is, since they are very relevant keywords, we do get sales immediately. Initial momentum, it is very quick. Right and it's also important that you need to understand that these keywords should also have a good search volume. Right if your volume is low, you may not get enough traffic. And we have also seen cases where product launches did not go really well or as expected because of lower search volumes. Right so now, and then we just leave these campaigns for 7 days, and after 7 days we come and then we do a little bit of optimization. Now at this stage, what kind of optimization do we do? Now we look into our placement stats, and then we modify our campaigns, and then we also decide whether to include or whether to stack up more keywords or not. So typically the launch phase, which generally lasts between 2 to 3 months, we don't really focus much on your broad match campaigns or auto campaigns. We typically focus more on exact match campaigns. Right now, the very idea of running exact match campaigns, let's say you've done your master keyword research and there are a list of 100 or 200 highly relevant keywords. Now your goal is to first test these 100 or 200 keywords before moving on to any of the discovery match types, such as your auto campaigns or your broad match campaigns. Right so you start using your exact match campaigns, wait till 20 clicks. After 20 clicks, if you're not getting any sales, just pause that particular campaign. Now when I say campaign, in each campaign we have only one keyword, and because that is the only way how you can have more control over your keyword performance. In case after 20 clicks, if you're not getting any sales, you just pause the keyword and then test that keyword in a phrase match campaign, and then that is how you progress. And remember one thing, if that keyword doesn't perform well in phrase match also, then pause it. Do not move that to broad match campaign. Do not do that mistake. Right instead, look for another keyword, look for a better keyword. Right now in this table here, you can see our proportion of, I mean, this is typically how we track our data, and this is how we present to our clients. Now each week they get to see whether we are doing a good job or not. In case if there is any issue on a particular week, we also have a proper action plan in terms of, now when there is a problem, if you are in a place where you say why there is a problem, right? So if there is a problem, you should be in a position to explain why did that problem arise. Now what solution do you have, or how are you going to fix the problem? Now it's very important to be in such position. Right in case in certain week, if your performance, for example, uh, if you look into week 4, our tacos, or week 5, our tacos has gone up from 43 to 55%. Right and then immediately we realize, oh, something has gone wrong. That week we have seen that tacos has gone up to 55%. Then immediately we have taken corrective measures, and immediately we brought our tacos down under control, right? You see it is 32 and 31. Now the point here is, when you first started, you started with 10 or 15 keywords. Now, you need to make sure that you're making the most out of these keywords. You need to track the organic rankings of these keywords. Now, once you achieve good organic rank positions, as in once your proportion of organic sales are greater than 50%, that is when you will have to stack few more exact match keywords, right? So remember, when we did keyword research, we may have hundreds of keywords. When we first launch, start with 10 or 15 keywords. And then once your organics are greater than 50%, then you optimize upon those campaigns. You continue to optimize those existing campaigns and add few more exact match campaigns. In this manner, you need to exhaust all your 100 keywords or hundreds of keywords that you found as a part of your product research. Only then you're going to move to discovery campaigns. Otherwise, do not waste your money, do not waste your time. Focus on exact match campaigns, and also track your rankings on a daily basis. Let's say if I'm starting with 10 or 15 keywords, now I'm going to track my rankings every single day, right? And tomorrow when I'm going to add or stack up another 15 or 20 keywords, I'm going to add these keywords to my ranking tracker and check how am I progressing in terms of ranks, right? Ultimately, the more the number of keywords that you rank, the more the possibility of getting sales, and that is how you that is the only way how you can get more sales on Amazon. Now, once again, once you exhaust all these keywords, that is when you can move to your broad match campaigns, or well before itself you can also switch on your auto campaigns. However, in case if you are switching on your auto campaigns, you need to have a clear guidance, or you need to have clarity on your negative list. Now when you're switching on your auto campaigns, by then you also need to know which all keywords are not relevant. You need to apply negative exact, so that you don't end up targeting keywords which are not really belong to your products, right? So that's also one more hack. Now the same concept applies to your both to your discovery campaigns. It could be your auto or it could be your broad. Make sure that you have your negative list and you're applying that, right? And one more key thing is that it's also important that you should not run out of stock, right? So once you gain a momentum, it's important that you maintain that momentum. In case if you run out of stock, then definitely it disturbs your organic rankings. And typically when you come back in stock, it's like once again an investment from your side to gain back, to come back on track, right? Now this is very important, guys. So this is how we track our data. These are the real results. Now you can see how we improved the organics. You can see how we are improving our conversion ratios. You can see how our tacos has come down. This product has gone out of stock, right? So once it is back, we are sure we will work towards improving the tacos under 15%, right? So now typically this may not be the same with all the products. In fact, we also have a couple of products which we tested. They did not fly as expected. What we see is in December, the per click cost is very high because of the higher, demand or higher traffic. So one learning that we had was, in case if you are launching your products, definitely December is not a right time, especially if it is in the US, right? So that is one learning. However, we are also seeing good progress on a couple of accounts. So I hope today's video was informative and it did add some value. If that is the case, just give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for your time and have a great day ahead. Thank you. Bye.